Phoenix going head-to-head with Portland Tuesday night, and along with Charles Barkley, one of the other new faces for Phoenix, ex-Blazer Danny Ainge, who deserted Rip City for the desert. And back in Portland, not welcomed back by his ex-mates. He's hounded by Porter and Cliff Robinson, and the shot off the top of the backboard. Blazers off and running. Mario Ellie to Cliff Robinson, who sticks it, and it was a 34-26 Blazer lead. Then Drexler on the breakaway, but look at Charles Barkley bringing that Eastern Conference style of play out west with a tough block. Game was tied at 48 at the break. Fourth quarter. Ellie to Cliff Robinson. They go behind the back. Terry Porter and back to Ellie, who lays it in. Portland goes up 75-71. The Blazers running. Porter to Ellie, who goes off the cushion. It's still a 4-point Blazer lead. Then Sir Charles getting the Suns back in at the hoop, and some harm. 81-80. Portland hanging to a 1-point lead. Back to Ellie, the short jumper. The Blazers take a 7-point advantage. Ellie had 13 of his 17 in the fourth quarter. Barkley finishes with 21 points, 14 rebounds, and 7 assists, but 7 Blazers were in double figures as the Portland Blazers do win it. Terry Porter, 16 for Portland. Now the Lakers and the Warriors going at it, and Don Nelson dressed up for the home opener. Looks a little like Alexander Monday. Laker coaches are always dressed to the nines. Third quarter, Anthony Peeler practically undresses Hardaway. Hardaway had just 5 points through 3 quarters. The Lakers the lead. Fourth quarter in command. Threet with the jumper plus the foul. 88-75 Los Angeles, but the Warriors rally. Look at Mullen. Throw it up and in. Golden State down just 4. Then they cut the lead to 2. And here Hardaway with a 3-ball, and that goes. Warriors up 104-103. Again, they were down one time running down. Hardaway, the crossover dribble, he does it so well. It's 106-105 Golden State. The Lakers go to Byron Scott. 14 seconds left, and look at that clutch shot as Randy Fund and the Lakers escape with the victory. Sadale Threet had 26, Scott and Worthy each 18. Tim Hardaway missed 14 of his first 16 shots, but had the big 3. He finished with 14. Sacramento trying to go 3-0, playing at home, and the same franchise that won it all in 1951 without Spud Webb. But Randy Brown took over. Late first quarter, Lionel Simmons with the rejection of Ron Harper, the transition game, and Simmons from Jim Les lays it in. The Kings up 29-23 over the Clippers. Off the LA miss in transition, Richmond to Coswell. Kings led by 6 at halftime. Then Mark Jackson weaving in traffic. The hoop and some harm. Kings by 4. 9 seconds left, tied at 97, and Randy Brown, the second-year man from New Mexico State, fills in for Spud Webb with a career-high 22. His previous high in the NBA was 12. That was last year against the Clippers. Can you believe it? The Kings are 3-0. That does deserve a wow. The franchise last won its first 3 games to start a season in 1968 when they were the Cincinnati Royals, and Oscar Robertson played for that team.
The NBA may not have Magic or Larry anymore, but they do have Grandmama and the Shaq. Larry Johnson of Charlotte, last year's Rookie of the Year, and Shaquille O'Neal of Orlando, this season's top freshman, got together to work on their new highlight film. But Shaq was the star at the start. He scored 13 points in the first 7 minutes. O'Neal manhandling Kenny Gaddison here in the post for the jam, then follows his own shot. No problem. What about defense? Well, Shaq rejecting JRE, then knocking him over. Shaq with 20 in the first half, Magic up by 4. He kept it going in the third, the spinner in the lane. The nice dish from Scotty Skiles turns it into an easy 2 for Shaq. More defense, Kendall Gill, get that junk out of here. Shaq with 35 points through 3, Magic up by 4. O'Neal would cool down in the fourth, misses it here. Meanwhile, the Hornets were getting hot. Kendall Gill from outside. Down by 1 late in the fourth. Muggsy Bogues misses the easy lay-in, but little Muggsy gets the follow over Shaq. Down by 1, Magic goes to Shaq down the stretch. Why not? But O'Neal fails to deliver when it counts. Matty Gukas can't believe it. Believe it. The Hornets win. Charlotte ends up winning it by 4. They held the Magic to just 2 points in the final 6 minutes. The Shaq did not score a single point in the fourth quarter. Meantime, a couple of coaches who go way back. Pat Riley looking calm and cool. Chuck Daly looking a little distressed, but of course he's still well dressed. Rick Mahorn making his Nets debut, only 2 points though. Knicks in control early. Ewing down the lane. Knicks by 5 at the half. Ewing was 17 in the first half. More Knicks second half. Starks to Smith to Campbell for the basket and the foul. Then Doc Rivers with a drive through the paint for the slam. Knicks by 10. Daly upset about the non-calls on Pat Ewing. He was ejected. It sparked the Nets, though. DC with 30. Kenny Anderson on the break. Nets trail by just 2. It's getting exciting, Pat. time running out. Derek Coleman lets it fly for the game winner. Not even close. Nets assistant coach Brendan Suhr a bit sick to his stomach. Knicks win 99-96. The Knicks win it despite 20 turnovers and just shooting 43%. New York may be 3-0, but coach Pat Riley and guard Doc Rivers both agree the team is struggling despite their perfect record. The Heat hosting the Celtics. The ball was bouncing Boston's way early. Sherman Douglas threading the needle to the X-Man. Then this combo hooking up again. Douglas to McDaniel again. McDaniel pulling up, buries it. 17 for the X-Man. X with no complaints to Eddie Middleton. The Celtics were up by 14 in the first half, but then the Heat got hot, turning it around in the second half. Glennie Rice with the 2. Then Rice from out of town. This is a tray, 1 of 3 of the second half. This guy is still excited, and this guy is not. Chris Ford is hating this. What happened to our 14-point lead? It disappeared, Chris. Glenn Rice leading Miami to the victory. Let us see, shall we? David Robinson, so happy Lloyd Daniels is a Spur. Daniels, look at this. He has an audience, can do what he wants, goes right in for the lay-in. Lloyd Daniels doing it from long distance, draining the 3. 21 for Lloyd. Spurs were down by just 1 at the half. In the fourth, all David Robinson, the Admiral taking over. Then it's Robinson with a jump hook, 29 for Mr. Robinson. Then it was David, of course, on the D. Blue Edwards inside, rejected by Robinson. 9 blocks in the second half, 10 in the game for Robinson. Spurs by 4 late in the game. Robinson gets the board, the hoop, and the foul. Yes, it was that kind of game. And hey, the Tark with his first regular season win. Former Buck Dale Ellis with 23 points in this game. Washington was in Cleveland looking for their first win. That meant the brothers' Price, Brent against Mark, their first NBA meeting. Brothers guarding brothers, just like the old days. Price using a double pick against his bro. He gets open and he takes advantage, nailing the J. Now, Brent Price had trouble with the J, missing here. Brent was 0 for 7 from the floor. Older brother played less than Brent, but scored more. As for the rest of the game, Nance, 12 points. Then Gerald Wilkins, nice move, the pump fake and the hoop. Wilkins with 15. The Cavs scoring 46 of those 131 points in the third, tying a team record. Nance with 6 blocks in that period. And the Bullets, well, they just haven't gotten it right yet. They're 0-3. In Denver, the Nuggets and the Jazz, it was all Utah. Nuggets actually led this game by 19 points in the first half, but Karl Malone and John Stockton took care of things from there. At the Target Center, Chuck Person wasn't missing for Minnesota against Dallas. He's able to force Rooks or anyone into 5 3-pointers, and his passing was on target too. Pick me up off the floor, Chris. That was dangerous.
In his first 2 games and nicked up after he butted heads with B.J. Armstrong. He would return, but Michael was there, of course, down the lane. Bulls up by 2 after 1, and Jordan steps outside for the 3. Bulls up 6, 38-32, low scoring first half. Isaiah, after getting stitches, comes back and catches fire. One-on-one with B.J. Armstrong, uses him, gets the bump and gets the shot to go. And the Pistons getting back in. Now time running down. Third quarter, watch Isaiah work out of the double team, throw up a prayer, and find the answer. And the Pistons led by 1 after 3. Look at it one more time. Isaiah had 15 in the third quarter alone. Now the game tied at 86. Michael to win off the iron. Detroit will have a chance to win. They go to the hot hand. Isaiah, he drew iron, and we go to overtime with Ron Rothstein's team. And in OT, Joe Dumars takes over. Watch the lean and then the fading shot over the outstretched Jordan, and the Pistons lead by 2. Time running down, 7 seconds. Dumars again off the screen, hits an 18-footer. Pistons by 1, 4 seconds left. That is Michael time.
Inbounds a cart right to Jordan. Time winding down. Michael for 3. Yeah! 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 Yes! 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 A winner! Unbelievable!
What else is new? Michael at the buzzer, 13 of 24 shooting for his 37 points, and a great one in overtime. Chicago wins by 2. Isaiah had 32, Dumars 22. The Pistons have lost 6 in a row at the stadium. What about Sacramento, looking to continue its best start in 24 years? Gary St. Jean looking to go 4-0. This is the early tone. Mitch Richmond off on the 3. Lionel Simmons should have taken his dog for this walk as he travels. Richmond drives, Loses the ball to Ron Harper. Then the pass for Dwayne Coswell, but errant, and this was the way some people thought it was going to go for the Kings. But look at Mark Jackson. Danny Manning, the give and go. It ends up with a Jackson hoop. Then Manning from behind blocking Lionel Simmons. Still in the first half off the Richmond miss. It's Manning, the outlet to Mark Jackson. These two working very well together. Clips by 19 at the half. Third quarter, John Williams missed, but Loy Vaught there for the putback jam. And in the fourth, the onslaught rolls on. Mark Jackson, 19 points, 9 assists. The Clippers get their first win. The Kings lose for the first time in 92. Kings just had 37 first-half points in this 8-point loss. It did get close at the end. Manning, 21, 15 rebounds, 9 assists. Jaren Jackson had 12 off the bench. Sacramento just 8 from Lionel Simmons and Mitch Richmond.
Uncertain with Alonzo on the way. Nice move by Kenny, though, over Ed Pinckney for the stuff. Hornets off and running. Muggsy Bogues to Gaddison. Nice pass to Kendall Gill, who sticks it. He had 23. Second quarter here. D. Brown blocking Larry Johnson. Pinckney outlets. Fox to Kevin Gamble, who gets the 2. Gamble had 23 off the bench for Boston. Second half, Sherman Douglas penetrating, the X-Man finishing. He had 25. Celtics led by 18 until LJ got 2 of his 15, cut it down to 6, but not enough. Douglas to Joe Klein, tries baseline, doesn't get it, but D. Brown follows to put it back in, and the Celtics take it 109-99. Pinckney had 15 rebounds, Reggie Lewis 16. Johnny Newman led the Hornets with 24. Rookie Tony Bennett 6 points and 9 assists. To follow and put it through. Rookie Robert Horry gets 2, and the game tied at halftime at 43 all. Look at Akeem with the block, starts the break. Kenny Smith to Vernon Maxwell, who misses, but Olajuwon ran the floor and follows. He had 26. Maxwell driving to the hoop, keeping control of this one. Finishes with the finger roll and add a foul. More of the Rockets. Akeem, the monster block. This one off the backboard. Scott Brooks picks it up, feeds Maxwell, who converts the easy 2. He had 30. Rudy Tomjanovich happy to be back on U.S. soil after 2 in Japan that they lost. They win this one 101-82. Akeem also had 17 boards. Rookie watch, Robert Horry 14. Adam Keefe had 5 for Atlanta. Dominique made just 8 of 22 shots for the Hawks. Nowhere to be found. Clarence Weatherspoon, the new man. I had a Linda Blair flashback there for a moment. Weatherspoon, the rebound and follow. The 6'6 swingman from Southern Miss, the big forward from the outside. And watch him off the break. He had 14 points in the first half, and the Sixers were ahead by 6. Second half, Dale Davis answering. Watch the swipe. Look at how he finishes this. Winds up and stuffs it. Second half, Weatherspoon, nowhere to be found. The miss, he did not score in the second half. Detlef Schrempf warmed up. Nice pass inside from McLeod, and Schrempf the reverse off the cushion and gets it to go. And then Detlef on the break. 2 of his 32, and the Pacers win at 120-114. Pacers shoot over 58%, ran right with the up-tempo Sixers, who are now 0-3. Bob Hill's switch to the smaller lineup with Schrempf at center and Sam Mitchell at power forward was the right stuff. The Bucks and the Mavs playing in Big D, and Blue Edwards with a big night. Bucks come out, Murdoch dishing to Edwards, the ex-Jazz. Then Edwards, a great move, drawing the foul from Doug Smith. Bucks led by 12 in the second quarter. Richie hates when that happens. Mavs come back in the second. Derek Harper from way out. And then Harper, the drive, he had 21, tied at 69, late third quarter. But get it to Blue Edwards. Abdelnaby does. Edwards led all scorers with 31. A long night, going to be a long season for Richie Adebayo. Golden State and Cleveland going at it. Tim Hardaway going to Billy Owens, who stuffs it. Owens had 30. The Warriors an 8-point lead. Fourth quarter here. Mark Price down the lane with the foul on the basket. 3-point play. It's a 2-point Golden State lead. Then tied at 106. Brandon, as regulation runs down in overtime. Price to John Williams. Watch Latrell Sprewell come across the lane to reject the shot. Then Price can't hit. Then Brandon can't hit. So we got a double overtime in the second OT. Tim Hardaway on the break in over Larry Nance. He had 35. Warriors have the lead, but the Cavs go at it. Williams fights the double team. The shot off the mark, but Mike Sanders follows. Cleveland by 2. Warriors with a chance to tie. Billy Owens forced to change his shot because of Larry Nance. Cleveland leads the league in block shots. Then under 10 seconds to play, Sanders the clinching basket, and in a wild double overtime finish, the Cavaliers win it. Cleveland's advantage clearly off the bench. Listen to this. Cav reserves outscore Golden State reserves 60-15. They out-rebounded them 25-10 and had 13 assists compared to none. Mark Price 0 for 7 from three-point range within one miss of the NBA record owned by Michael Adams. Other action, Utah going against the Suns, and Charles Barkley never one to miss his share of the offense. The bank shot, he called it over Karl Malone. The Suns up 26-19, and they add to it. Barkley passing to Cedric Ceballos, who puts it in. Charles playing some defense here on the mailman, rejecting Karl Malone. Suns up by 10 at halftime. Malone did have 32, but off the pick and roll, Karl misses the easy one. Paul Westphal didn't need to look at the scoreboard because Barkley was lighting it up. Against Malone, the turnaround, he had 25 points and 14 rebounds as the Suns win, and Charles has a good thing going. Utah 0-2 at the Delta Center. Last year they had a 37-4 record at home. The Jazz shot just 37% in the game. Ceballos had 24. Shaq dodging bullets in Orlando. Shaquille O'Neal, the redwood among NBA trees, against the rookie Tom Gugliotta, who had the defensive assignment and didn't do well here. Shaq, the lob from Jeff Turner, and puts it in. Purvis Ellison next to help out on Shaq. Gugliotta, not a factor. Ellison wasn't either. Shaq puts it in. Charles Jones tries. Didn't matter. The Magic on a 19-0 run in the first quarter. Wes Unseld maybe could have gone in and covered him. He tells Harvey Grant, let's try a triple team. Grant, Larry Stewart, and Charles Jones all around Shaquille O'Neal, but it didn't matter. He gets the off-balance hoop, and in the second half, did it again. Dennis Scott running the floor was Shaquille O'Neal. 31 points, 21 rebounds. Orlando wins at 127-100. Scott Skiles with a triple-double. Dennis Scott had 27. Rookie Brent Price led the Bullets with 22. Now the Lakers playing in Seattle, and Sean Kemp on the threshold of greatness with Magic and Bird gone. He's really just a notch below Jordan and Barkley. The block starts the break for Seattle. Nate McMillan is on the other end for the dunk, and Randy Funn not having any. Lakers did not win in Seattle last year, having trouble in this one. Kemp on offense, the spin move and the foul. He had 12 in the first half. The Sonics by 12, but the Lakers respond. The ex-Sonics, Hideo Threet with a swipe and score. He had 25 points, and the Lakers had a 4-point lead. But then Sean Kemp took over, stealing the inbound pass from Vlade Divac and taking it home all by himself. 19 points and 11 rebounds. Seattle closes strong, and they beat the Lakers for the 5th time in their last 6 meetings. Hired at age 62. He's trying to win NBA games against the Hawks. The Spurs behind because Wilkins had 13 in the first quarter. Spurs actually got back to take the lead, but Kevin Willis takes care of that with a tomahawk stuff. Third quarter, Lloyd Daniels, the half-court alley-oop, and there's David Robinson, cuts the lead. Atlanta up by 3, but Dominique sealing the deal. Spurs a chance to pull within 1. He gets the swipe from Daniels and gets it to Mookie Blaylock, and Shark and the Spurs grounded as San Antonio loses it. Travis Mays with 19. Blaylock and Kevin Willis had 16. San Antonio suffering 14 turnovers in the first half. The Timberwolves playing in New Jersey, and Christian Laettner won 2 East Regionals at the Meadowlands when he played his college ball there. Now the pro game, taking the pass, Chuck Person going baseline, and the Wolves led by as many as 19. New Jersey answers with Drazen Petrovic hitting the jumper. He had 27 points, and Drazen, that's Petrovic. That's the way he prefers it. Late fourth quarter, Wolves leading by 6. Coleman to Sam Bowie for the dunk. And then Petro feeds Bowie, who misses, but stays right with it to tip it in. Nets still down by 2. Chuck Person and Minnesota with the ball. A clutch shot. Yes, it goes with the clock running down. He's excited as the T-Wolves win in New Jersey. Laettner scored 10. Chris Morris made just 3 of 15 shots. Derek Coleman only 7 of 15. He did have 19 rebounds in the game. At the Palace, the Heat and the Pistons. John Salley, remember 1990? Back-to-back championships. He was part of that with the Pistons. This time around facing his old teammates for the first time as a member of the Heat. First half, Salley hits his first shot of the game. He had 11 points. And, of course, he plays some D, stuffing Isaiah on the drive. 4 blocked shots for Salley. Dumar's the hot hand, throwing up the three-pointer. Ron Rosti now on the other side of the court. Burton to Rice, and Cycli with a strong finish. He had 29 for Miami. Second half, though, the Pistons fire up. Dumars, 3-ball, side pocket. He had 29. Not a great homecoming for Salley, but good to see the old pals as the Pistons knocked down.
Completed its first full week. Let's take a look at what's in and what's out. In, Cleveland's Brad Daugherty, who opened the season missing his first 10 shots against Chicago. Daugherty found his mark Sunday, canning 9 of his first 10 in a 20-point win over Charlotte. However, being introduced was all the court time number 43 saw Friday night because of tendonitis in his left knee. Out, a tall guy for the Hornets. They had no one over 6'8" start against the Cavs. In, a tall guy for the Hornets. 6'10" Alonzo Mourning signed with Charlotte Thursday, and the next night he scored 12 points, swiped 3 boards, and blocked a shot all in 19 minutes. Out, a 45-game Sacramento Kings losing streak at the Forum that dates back to 1974, when they were known as the Kansas City Omaha Kings. Sacramento beat the Lakers 124-114. In, Jeff Hornacek, the Sixers guard who came from Phoenix in the Barkley trade. He scored a career-high 39 points as Philly won for the first time this season by 11 at Boston Garden. Out, Spud Webb, who tore ligaments in his right wrist against the Lakers. Spud is gone for at least 2 months. In, the Spurs and home openers. Tuesday, the Admiral ship came in as David Robinson scored 29 points, blocked 10 shots, and grabbed 9 rebounds in the Spurs' 7th straight home opening win. Out, brotherly love. The Cavs' Mark Price was on the floor only a few minutes with rookie brother Brent of the Bullets. And the veteran wound up with 16 points to the new kid on the block's 4. In.
The inbounds a Cartwright to Jordan. Time winding down. Michael for 3. Yeah! Yes! Yes!
Out, as in outstanding, the Shaq. Shaquille O'Neal racked up 35 points and 13 rebounds, and the Magic's lost to Charlotte on Tuesday. Thursday, Shaq bit the Bullets for 31 points and 21 rebounds.